Hello, welcome back, everybody. Regular returning members of the RV Nerd Herd. For those who are joining us for the first time, my name is Josh. Welcome to Bish's RV. We're actually down here at Forest River today. I saw where, the RV marketplace has been making this big push for smaller, cheaper, smaller, cheaper, smaller, cheaper. But not everybody needs smaller, but nobody gets upset on a lighter price tag. And that's why I wanted to get this one on file today, because I try to provide a little bit of everything for everybody. Cherokee has put together here a very large RV for big families, for lots of space. This would be perfect for like a seasonal site where you're not towing it around constantly, but you need that privacy. You want a private bedroom, you want a private bathroom, but you want a decent kitchen and a nice wide open living space. This provides all of that without absolutely sending you hopelessly spiraling into infinite debt right here. That's what this one's goal is. This is a member of the Wolf Den series. So the Wolf Den is what I call the Just the Facts Ma'am member of the Cherokee RV family. It's everything that matters and nothing that doesn't. What's cool is how many awesome things this still has on it, like opposing floor flush, carpetless slide outs, and awesome pantrytainment. The storage in this is deceptively good. You still have dual power awnings as well. It's limited on campsite window coverage, but you got a dedicated bunk room slide with a move bunk, get out the way, and sofa below. So on a rainy day, somebody back there has got the perfect place to spend the afternoon, like a mother-in-law suite or something like that. But it also has maybe one of the best camp kitchens that's out there on what you could argue is a more basic RV series, with a giant outdoor fridge, ice maker, real sink with a drain, cooking station, and even a little bit of outside storage. There's some awesome qualities going in here. It's an interesting mix of things. I'd be really curious to know what you think about it. I'm going to try to show you where it rocks, maybe where it sucks. I don't know. I'll let you decide where the dividing line is there. If you appreciate how we're just trying to be fair and candid with you, hit that subscribe button and let me know what you think about this one. Now, this RV is not designed to have all the features, flair, glitz, and glitter, but I call it a Meghan Trainor camper. I think it's got all the right junk in all the right places. It does what it needs to, where it needs to, when it needs to. Like carpetless opposing floor flush slides that almost doesn't exist anywhere else in a budget-focused camper. And I'm going to refer to this concept several times. The difference between budget-focused and cheap. There is a difference in there. They never went over the top cutthroat. They didn't go over the top when they didn't have to, but they never went super chintzy cheap where it could be avoided. Like, historically, the Cherokee RV Group never did theater seats in any of their travel trailers. And this is their most basic trim package travel trailer, and you still have the ability to put theater seating in it. I think a jackknife sofa might be standard. I don't know why I said it like that. But I almost sound like, who was that guy? Bobcat Goldthwait's character from Police Academy. He's like, man, if anyone doesn't know the Police Academy movies at this point, do yourselves a favor and make sure you indulge yourself in the greatest pieces of cinematic mastery that have ever been created on the planet Earth. Those may not necessarily refer to this Police Academy movies. Anyway, moving on from there. We've got opposing slides, which allows for enough space to actually have an island here, which this floor plan kind of needs, because despite its size, it has a lot of kitchen cabinet storage. It is fairly limited in countertop prep space. You may actually need to get a little bit creative with that. Now, wrapping around the corner over here, this is actually interesting where you have your refrigerator located all the way over here in the slide. This is an 8 cubic foot 12-volt compressor fridge. I want to make sure I point that out because a lot of your 12-volt fridges are in the 10 cubic foot family, which is normally what the Cherokee RV Group uses. But in this instance, for size in the slide and or budget reasons, they did go to the 8 cubic size. Now, that's also, hold on, usually, like the last couple of years here, the Cherokee RV Group has not included open up. There you go. Conventional propane oven. Okay. At a glance, I couldn't tell if this was just a conventional microwave or if it was an electric oven microwave combo. So it is the air fryer convection and microwave wombo combo there. They've also still maintained the full-on like 5-piece smart sink here in the kitchen, which again is something I didn't expect them to do. They've included things like that electric space heating fireplace in here. That'll really help if you are spring and fall camping. Although this RV is not made for extreme cold weathers. So please keep that in mind. And there's people who will say anything to get your money. I hope you appreciate that I'm willing to volunteer information that may cause you to be less inclined to buy this RV. Because if that's a deal breaker for you, I'd rather find out now on a video when you have spent $0 as opposed to waiting after you spend a lot of money to find out, oh, dude, we bought the wrong RV. By the way, I got to plug Bish's RV on this real quick because I'm not aware of this being a common policy in RVs anywhere. We have a 72-hour no questions asked return policy. So if you buy that thing and you take it home, you sleep on it overnight, you're like, oh my God, I think we made a mistake. Bring it back. We'll swap you out. We'll refund your money. We'll do what we got to do. But look at this. You have what I call a pantrytainment center. You have a huge chunk of storage behind that. Now, you might wonder, like, well, that electric fireplace is there. Isn't it going to heat up inside this cavity anything that I put in that? Like if I have my Hershey's chocolate bars for s'mores, is it going to be Hershey's syrup by the time I try to put it on the graham crackers? The answer is no. Those electric heater units pump heat forward, basically, not backward. It's actually pulling air in from the back, so it should not create a real massive hot spot location in there. One thing I also want to point out, like I like the freezer, like chest drawer style thing here. And I do like, because this RV has very limited campsite window coverage. I love a good kitchen window on the campsite of the RV. But it also means because they removed any like cabinet construction overhead, they do not have the opportunity for a stovetop exhaust vent hood built into this. That could be something that concerns some people. So what if you're cooking? How do you get the heat and the smells out of the camper? Well, above you up here, they put just a conventional vent. It's not a fan. But you notice how you have that ceiling light fixture next to it? That's a 12-volt powered source. It's very easy to use the 12-volt power coming off that light to power a vent fan added to that vent. Now, obviously, the factory didn't do it, but it is something that, in theory, could be done. Heck, that's something we could do for you before you take it home. Just let us know what you need, and chances are we can work something out. And again, I'm kind of surprised they stuck with the full-on, fully equipped smart sink with the skirted stainless sink here. Sometimes when that happens, it's an interesting thing. I've seen certain manufacturers do this. When a manufacturer starts with a product that already has more equipment that's standardized, sometimes it's almost easier for them to just leave stuff in instead of also stock a cheaper component. I think that's a little bit of the benefit here. Like, had the Cherokee RV Group started with Wolf Den on its own, I don't think it would actually be as nice. I think because it had Cherokee and Grey Wolf already in the lineup with more equipment, I think that this series benefits from bonus equipment from their standardization and volume that normally it would not be able to have. Now, a couple things here. This is a big dinette. This is a full-on what I call true U dinette. It folds down to a giant sleeper if need be, but you can wrap more people. Well, you can probably still fit 4 people around it, and especially if you grab like an extra stool to put over here kind of in the walkway area, which is a little intrusive. And they give you these full extension doors. Something I don't know that I've ever really demonstrated, though. They're not attached at all. Now, it's not really a problem. Frankly, it was not easy to get completely out of there because of the position of the island. I don't think that drawer ever could come out. And if you're traveling, the slide's closed. It's not going anywhere. But in theory, if you don't like those, you don't have to have them. But the way that they did this allows for, maximum capacity while still offering easiest access. Although you do still have to take apart the back bench. Oh, before I forget, this little blinky blink blue light on the wall. I don't even know if you can see it on camera. That's your stereo system. So it doesn't actually have like an AM, FM, CD, DVD, anything like that stereo head. It's just a Bluetooth speaker system. The RV is a Bluetooth speaker. People are like, I don't know. I don't get it. You understand what a Bluetooth speaker is, right? Chances are people just said yes. This RV is a Bluetooth speaker. It just literally is that. So there you go. Now, this is another thing that just shocked me. This is 50 amp with a factory second AC capacity. That's the difference between budget focused and cheap. I'm going to try to get you a little bit better look at the Bunk Room Entertainment Center here. What they did with this space above the camp kitchen is very interesting here. Like, obviously you've got the ladder to get you up, but you got like jacket hanging storage right there. You have some enclosed dresser storage beside that. What they didn't do, though, is they didn't make this extra deep like a lot of manufacturers do. They left it just single bunk depth, and they still put big windows in here. Windows are expensive in RVs, ladies and gentlemen. Windows and lights can very quickly become the two, it sounds crazy. Those can become the two most expensive things in total in an RV's construction, between the materials, the labor, and the structure required to handle them, or the running the wiring or anything like that. Windows and lights are very expensive in RVs, so to maintain big windows and plenty of lights in this is kind of a rare find. But the thing is, this doesn't have to be just a bunkhouse, because this has the move bunk, get out the way kind of system here. I didn't choose the nerd life. The nerd life chose me. And again, I want to give them credit here, the difference between being budget focused and cheap. If you go shopping for RVs and you see flip-up bunks like this, which are pretty common, double check to make sure they have double locking mechanisms like this. That's going to be one of those differences. The cheap campers will try to get away with just one, and there's a lot of that out there. What's kind of cool about this is when you're stuck inside on a rainy day, you essentially have created the opportunity for a second living space here. Now, I don't use wide-angle lenses, so maybe this could look more awesome and dramatic, but I want you to kind of see a little more of what it looks like in person. It actually looks a little better in person than on camera, typically. They don't put drawers or anything under here, but a couple little totes or just throw some duffel bags down there would work. And I don't want to conveniently forget to gloss over this or anything like that. They have maintained floor-ducted heating on this with the handy deli slicer meat vent covers. Some people really don't care for those. I think you could put, there are like vent filter pads that you could put in those that may restrict airflow a little bit, but for the most part, you're probably not running the heat in this in the summertime. You can also keep all the junk from getting in there. Like I said, you do have TV hookups over here in this corner, and if you sit over here on the sofa in second living mode, it ain't bad. It ain't bad at all. Now, this wall is pretty blank. But it is what it is, oh, by the way, I talked about that storage over here, but I don't know that I ever really showed it to you, and I want to make sure I take the opportunity to give you just a little bit of a glance at her. Now, working our way out here. Crap. Yep, I knew I'd do that. I forgot to put that drawer away. Stand by. Yep, much better. There we go. If I would have tried to walk around that, I guarantee at some point I would have tripped over that sucker, and I'd have gone backside over tea kettle, and it would have been hilarious. Now, I'm noticing, and maybe it's the reason they put a theater seat in this. Again, I have to double check a couple things. That it's not the world's biggest sofa, and maybe they went with more of a love seat there because they went with the giant dinette. But the thing is, I'm not mad at it, because again, I keep referencing that rainy day, because that's one of the big things. If you're going to spend a long time in this RV, if you're going to be stuck inside on a rainy day, you got that whole room with the slide out in the back of the RV. That's a perfect spot for, say kids to hang out. But if you're stuck inside as the owners of the RV all day, you are really going to appreciate, having the opportunity, at least, for a really nice entertainment center. It doesn't come with a TV. You could add one, and the ability to kick your feet up with a theater seat right there. Those are going to be some things that you will appreciate. Now, this wall over here, it's the enclosure for the bathroom wall. I love the fact that they use some of the hollow space inside of the wall. It's not massive. It's not amazing, but they added there's octopus sextuplets having a drunken fight club over here. And if you're like, what is this idiot talking about? If you look at this thing, tell me it doesn't look like a octopus looking for a fight on a Friday night. To me, it definitely does. Working our way up here. The bedroom and bathroom are a very conventional arrangement. They're a good setup. I have absolutely nothing against them, but it's a layout that this bedroom bathroom interaction and layout style and design has become like almost the default bedroom bathroom interaction and design in the RV industry, but not without good reason. It provides some very, very nice benefits. Like I'm giving you a little bit of a look at it here, but if I stand over on the left side of the screen, like in the bathroom area there, you can see how, you got that big XL vent fan. The RV is not super duper extra tall though. My head's absolutely up in the slide of that sucker. This thing, it's got a nicely sized, I think that's a 30 by 36 shower. I got some dirty footprints in there. I feel badly about that. But it's the only way to do the shower selfie size demo. It is just a generic shower curtain though. Now, awesome space around the toilet. You might notice though, there is the heat vent in the floor. Some people really, really don't like that. I, again, just want you to understand what is and what isn't. Now, they went with all swinging doors on this as opposed to sliding doors. And sometimes people go like, well, why? Does it matter? Basically, the hardware, the hinges of a swinging door are significantly less expensive than the roller glide hardware of a sliding door. So in case you're curious as to why manufacturers sometimes choose one or the other, sometimes that is the reasoning there. Massive campsite window, which is cool when you're inside the RV. It also means outside the RV, you have potentially limiting awning space. We're going to talk more about that when we get outdoors. Now, I don't use wide angle lenses, so obviously the bed is just dominating the picture frame right now. Part of that is because this is a little bit bigger bed, but it's not a normal size bed. I don't know what Forest River is going to call it on their website, but this is a 66 wide by 74 inch long short Olympic queen, which is a mouthful. An Olympic queen is 66 by 80. This is obviously shorter than that. If you wanted to put a conventional RV short queen in, which is 60 by 74, very easily done. If you wanted to put a residential 80-inch length bed in here, it's not impossible, but you're going to have to crawl around the bedroom because it's basically going to dominate and occupy all of your space walking around the bed. Now, I haven't checked, but I'm going to bet your paycheck that there is no easy lift mechanism for this mattress. Let's find out. Yep. Sometimes I hate being right, and this is one of those times right there. What is cool is if you do go with a 60-inch wide mattress, you might notice how the bed decking is actually not quite as wide as the edges of the mattress. So there's no shaving of the wood required. I'm actually surprised it's plywood under there. That's a nice surprise. Instead of drawers, they give you these totes, but I love the fact that, especially because the bed's not the easiest thing to lift, you really don't have to generally get to this storage. I'm looking at this partition at the foot of this. I almost wish there was like a little doggy door open in there and there was a little pet bed or something inside that thing. That would be easy to do DIY. That could be so cute. Yeah, that's right. I said cute. So what? I'm going to go eat some raw meat and hang some sheetrock around an engine I'm rebuilding later. But cute's the way that you have to talk about your little Mr. Fluffy Wiggles. And if you don't use that silly baby talk voice when talking to your dog, I don't know that you're really a dog owner. I don't care how you talk to your dog. Anyway, this is cool. That's a big chunk of bonus hanging closet space. That is very, very cool over there. Now, by the way, if you look back down on the bedside there, you see that big black brick on the wall. That's a localized single point 150 watt inverter, which is a very, okay, that's smart. Sorry, squirrel. The converter panel is in your bedroom, not in the kids' room. It's located where a slide out will never block it. That was a really good place to put that converter, in my estimation. It eliminates a lot of potential problems that some people could have with it. Speaking of potential problems, he says, knowing we're about to have rough road mode. Yep. When the slides close up, it gets awful tight in here awful quick. That's the trick with having an island and opposing slides and a rear room with an island. Everything pinches off very, very quickly. Something else I discovered, something that's very rare in stick and tin campers. This is an all hydraulic slide system, and it's a single button system, meaning basically all three slides open when you just push and hold the one slide button, but you don't exactly control which one goes first. The basically the smallest, the bunk room slide is going to go in and out first. You can't really control what slide does what. I haven't found a flow controller in the RV. Maybe I've missed one, but I don't believe there is one. So a lot of times on floor plans like this, you'll hear me say, yes, but if you can open the stable steps, you could open that slide out and then you can get to the refrigerator, blah, blah, blah. Well, no, you can't in this one. If you want to get to that fridge, you got a Dukes of Hazzard yeehaw over that island, which I don't recommend. So you can get to your main bedroom, you can get to your bathroom for a quick travel and potty stop. Other than that, this thing is made exclusively for being there, not at all for getting there. Here's the thing with a giant RV like this, though. Take a look at those weights and measures. It's big. It's big. Folks with half tons, I do not recommend you attempt to tow this RV. It's just too big, too long, too heavy. It will push you all over the road. Now someone's like, yeah, but I got a Pro Pride hitch, which is like one of the best travel trailer hitch systems out there. They're very persnickety, but man, once they're hooked up, they are the best. I think pretty much, categorically. It's still, even then, I don't like that pairing. I don't like this paired up with a half ton. If you disagree, that's okay. But keep in mind, what half-ton pickups are the most commonly purchased vehicle out there. So for me to say I don't recommend this for a half-ton means I just disqualified the largest chunk of potential buyers. There's no financial benefit for me to say that. That's purely for your safety, your family safety, essentially. Now, the thing is, sometimes your greatest asset's your greatest liability, and physics says two things can't occupy the same space at the same time. Because they gave us that monster bedroom window, they kind of had to cut the power awning here in half. And when you look at just the awning over the door, you want to really kind of to criticize them. That was my knee-jerk reaction. But then I realized, this is a more budget-focused camper. They put that whole second awning on the face of the Super Slide. Most manufacturers, to save a buck, they'll just put one awning and mount it over the Super Slide and the door so that you say, look, we have one big, 18-foot awning. I'm just going to throw a number out there. They didn't do that. They didn't go over the top here, but they still tried to be smart about the execution of the RV. And that, I think, is the difference between an RV that is budget-focused and cheap. There's a very different set of mentalities that go into that. Personally, on a budget-focused camper, I'd prefer they just got rid of the outside speakers, but they did maintain them on that Bluetooth audio system here, where they cut absolutely no corners and shaved nothing out, is this camp kitchen. This is one of the best camp kitchens available on the RV marketplace today. It has a gigantic additional outdoor refrigerator. I believe that fridge is 110 only. Actually, let me see if I can verify that. Yep, double-checked everything, officially verified. So your refrigerator inside is 12 volt. This refrigerator is not. It will require park power or a generator. That's pretty normal with outside kitchen refrigerators. 12 volt hasn't really found its way into outside kitchen fridges yet. But it is a large fridge. And to be fair, I don't think this is necessarily an RV really made with the idea of a lot of boondocking. So I feel most people are going to have power available to them. I could be wrong. I don't know. The ice maker and a real sink in the outside kitchen. Those are awesome, handy features. I want to give you a little point of consideration on that sink, though. Give me just a second. I like the extra little drawer. You got your griddle cooktop station built right into this sucker as well, and this is all galvanized rolled steel. The thing is, because of the size and the weight of this RV, it runs on bigger, heavier running gear and a taller, thicker chassis. And that means this entire camp kitchen is elevated more than I think you necessarily realize on camera. Because the thing is, for people like me making this video, I could make this look very seamless, simple, and easy. Because, look how easy it is to use the cooktop. I can reach the sink all day long, just like my pappy used to. I don't know why I went to old band voice. You get the idea. I can reach the stuff, but I'm not gravity friendly. I'm a big guy. This stuff's up a little higher. Actually, hey, Miss Savannah, could you come over here? Absolutely. Perfect opportunity. Some of you folks who watch a lot of RV videos, you might recognize Miss Savannah here. Now, if I don't cheat the camera, you might notice that Savannah's far more gravity friendly than I. Miss Savannah, could you stand up to that sink and try to wash your hands real quick? Now, you notice Savannah's on her tiptoes. She can't reach the cabinets right there. She's doing what I call the Olympic swim diver sink routine, where you know, before you dive into a pool, you have your hands all the way up by your face, you know? Give Savannah a big round of applause and thank you. She absolutely awesome. She's the Vanna to my Pat, I guess. I don't know. But you get the idea. She knocked it out of the park today, as she does tend to do if you watch her videos. But check her out, by the way. If you haven't, that sounded wrong. Yeah, go check out Savannah. That sounded super creepy. I'm sure I'm going to have an HR report again after this. You get the idea. It's high. It's... This sink is higher than Snoop Dogg. On the off chance Snoop Dogg happens to watch an RV video, he's been like, man, what'd I ever do to you, cuz? Anyway. Moving on from the camp kitchen, I think we've accomplished our goals there. We do have a walkable roof. There's 200, no, Wolf Den. Wolf Den is no factory solar by default. That's where Cherokee and Gray Wolf kick in. That's one of those things that Wolf Den does not have by default. It still has the ladder prep to the walkable roof. It still has the camera. It still has a spare tire. And that sounds like a stupid thing to talk about, but you'd be shocked how many cutthroat. Remember I said the difference between budget focused and cheap? Well, they didn't go cheap. They didn't cut out a spare tire. I hope you never need that spare tire. But like health insurance or cough syrup, if you need it, I hope you got it, because you are going to be not happy if you don't. I'm looking under the skirt line here. Oh, we got a 2-head sewer monster. I didn't notice that because this one is really, really tucked up under there. I'm willing to bet that's your kitchen gray outlet. Cousin Garrett, could you flash the holding tank capacities across the bottom of the screen again? I'm willing to bet, I haven't even double checked, I'm willing to bet the gray tank reads like twice as big as the black tank on this one, because it probably has 2 separate gray tanks, one for the kitchen in the back, and then our bathroom, black and gray, yep, right up there in the front. I'm willing to bet that's probably how this one's engineered and plumbed out. It does still have a full-on black tank flush. We do have hot-cold outside utility shower, on-demand water heater. So spring, summer, fall, you got a bunch of bodies in this thing. You're taking back-to-back showers. You're gonna be fine. That's what this one. No one's gonna have to worry about the Chilly Willy shower at the very end there. You know. Short of that, she's pretty straightforward, pretty conventional on the exterior. You know, again, like everything else, has some good, has some bad, whatever you want to say. I just try to be fair, man. So thanks again for tuning in, everybody. As I tend to do, I'll drop you some links in the description to double check pricing and availability. Short of that, let me know what you think about her, and we'll catch you next time. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.